this is our first time out doing something like this. So I am really, really excited. So hello everyone and welcome to the Soulful Cream Podcast. I
Hello,
am Cream Diggler
and I am Soulful Mexican.
and we have our special guest.
Junior boy.
Hey, welcome
J Boy.
back. So we have, the episode's going to be as long as she needs to be today. I think we have like about 2 hours, I think, on this episode. But hey,
And
we're
we're
gonna see.
broadcasting with video. My God.
I know, like,
I do it
You got
big.
me showing my face. I wasn't ready for that. I was going to be like these folks on OnlyFans with the masks on.
no. So, I don't know. I don't know. I think I have a face made for podcasts. I don't know if I have a face made for this. We're gonna see how this goes.
Trust me, if it's OnlyFans, they ain't worried about what your face looks like.
Not at all. They look
Fat
at
Rabbit
everything.
Killer got away with it for how long?
Oh, now, Junior boy, you look like you looking real skinny in the face, girl. What's you?
Come on,
Ah,
2023 slim down.
Yeah,
not on purpose,
no,
okay?
okay. They're not feeding you down there in Atlanta.
Not, I just be busy and I forget to eat.
Oh, I don't know about that life. I
Yeah.
really don't.
I be
No
going.
matter no matter how busy I get, I am going to make a way for the food.
Now, I did go to Publix to give me some chicken though.
Oh, where'd you go?
I do
Publix.
Publix.
Publix. Oh
I
yeah.
love Publix chicken.
I went
My
to
God.
Publix and got me some chicken. And
Fried chicken, the wings, or I
ate
get me
about
a
four
chicken
pieces.
tender sub.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
love
okay. Oh, I see you Soulful. So you are a big. I know you spent a lot of time in Atlanta. So are you a big fan of Publix as
Oh,
well?
I love Publix. If they had them here in Texas, they'd like buy HEB. Oop.
uh,
No, I love Publix. Not just in Atlanta. Anytime I go to Florida, when my brother was living in Alabama, I mean, if there's a Publix, I'm there.
Mm. Well, I enjoy Publix too. She's a little bit like kind of like you said HEB, not quite as bougie as Whole Foods.
like right in the middle.
It's right in the middle there. Yeah,
Yeah.
right in the middle.
It's like
Hmm.
the Trader Joe's
Oh,
of Whole
Yeah.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, we have so much to talk about today, and we're just going to get right into it. We've got our hot topics. Our special topic of the day is going to be about the 12 types of gays you encounter while dating. And what I like about this, it actually encounters a couple of different things that you both have talked to me about. Like, hey, this needs to be talked about on the podcast. This needs to be talked about on the podcast. So we kind of we're going to talk about each of those guys in that top 12 there.
12 types of gays, 12,
Yeah.
12 zodiacs. Coincidence?
Mm-hmm. I see you. And then we'll end with our top three topics. One topic from each of us. Something that we heard happy in the news. But getting started, so Krishan Rock, who and Blueface, have a show on Zeus Network right now called Crazy in Love. Blueface is a rapper. Honestly, I don't know none of his music. I know him from just the drama with Krishan Rock and that show Crazy in Love, which I am embarrassed to say I bought Zeus just so I could watch it because I knew it was going to be a train wreck.
Yeah.
So I downloaded it to watch it, and they have not disappointed. I mean, she has tattooed his face on her neck, his real name on the side of her face. They get into. I mean, you thought Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston got into fights. They got into major fights where she has like hit him upside the head with a Hennessy bottle, and he had glass in her head. And
Well, she said she has good pussy, so she has the right to do that.
is that what he said?
That's what she said.
Oh, what she said. Oh,
Yeah, she said she's not. She said she can we. I don't mean to be cussing, but if you go, oh,
Yeah.
bleep out. She said, "I'm not a regular bitch. I got good pussy. I'm not broke.
Oh, and
She can do those things."
I mean, apparently she can because he has not left. He hadn't left her, at least not up to this point, because now she said she's pregnant, and she
Oh, she
posted on
is. I didn't
social
know
media.
that. I didn't. I missed that part.
She posted on social media 3 different with those little test thing they take, the women take,
Uh-huh.
pee sticks, and
Pregnancy test. But
there
we'll
you
call
go,
it
pregnancy
a
test.
stick. A pea stick is what it is.
Right. And she said she pregnant with his baby, but he then went on social media on Twitter and said, I don't think that's my baby.
And broke up with her apparently.
and
Broke
broke
up
up
with
with
her
her.
when she announced that she was pregnant with his baby.
Right, like I said, we not together.
Well, who else would she be with?
He claims she been with at least 10 different dudes while they've been together. Is what he said. But my thing is, he's been with several different women himself during their time, right? Like he'll cheat on her, and I think she'll get mad and cheat back for revenge or whatever their situation is. But they've both been having sex on each other for the duration of this crazy relationship.
Or like she said, she got that good pussy. Why is she gonna limit it to one?
I just said what she told me, what she said all the time.
That's what it's like. That's the word on the street.
That's what she said.
Well,
I think the last episode I watched was he knocked that dead when he got in the fight. I guess it was her sisters.
and
her dad was there.
The sister, the dad, yes, the mama.
Yeah, and I think I probably would have hit the dad too. I ain't gonna lie.
The dad was doing way too much.
It's way too much.
Yeah, the dad actually hit him in the face.
I'm plugging in my thing when I die.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, and they were all in his face, and the girls and the sisters was all in his face. I'm like, why are y'all giving that? Like, if she's allowing it, then why are y'all in the business? Because my sister, I remember this is like many years ago. She'll be able to tell her business, but I remember she had a boyfriend. He hit her, and my brother went over there. My younger brother went over there, and to find it, and she got back with him. And I told him, I said, don't go back over there anymore. Because she must like it.
Right. Exactly.
We must be like Payal.
And that's how they have been with each other. Like another episode during this same show, I guess Krishan had got into it with his mom, and he kind of defended Krishan against his mom because he felt like his mom was out of pocket. And I mean, some of the stuff he was saying about his mom, she was really presenting herself very prim and proper, but then he was starting to say all the kind of crazy stuff she was doing. It's like, oh, she crazy. She's crazy. It's all a mess, but I actually feel really sorry for them because they're like these really talented people who have had really messed up home lives. They come from a lot of trauma, and it's like they're learning how to live in front of everybody, but with a lot of money. It's just like I do feel sorry for them a little bit. I must say a little bit. Or do y'all have no sympathy for these
rich people problems?
Yeah. Because I guarantee you, if they didn't have that much money, they would not be at each other like that. They'll be trying to figure out how to make some money.
Right. One more thing before we leave off them. Krishan had released a sex tape on them when he went to Vegas. I guess she thought he slept with another woman there, and she released her revenge was releasing a tape of them having sex. That was her revenge.
Has anybody seen it?
As in revenge porn?
Yeah.
As in it's a crime?
But
right, exactly. And I was like,
yeah. But she's in it too, though. It wasn't like it was just like him by himself. Like
that don't matter. If he didn't approve, that's a crime.
Yeah. That's true, but I guess he's not pressing charges.
Has anyone seen it?
I saw it. I searched for it. And for the news, honey, because we're going to talk about it for the podcast. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, well, I'm not judging. I just say this send me the link later.
All you got to do on Twitter, Krishan and Blueface porn, whatever, it'll come up. But what it is.
In fact, if any of our listeners want to send the link to J-Boy right now, there's a $10 Starbucks gift card in it for you.
And basically, he told her, he said, "You really did me a favor because now I got even more people in my inbox now. Because when I tell you that thing was thanging, it was thanging.
That would probably be why he didn't press charges. Like, at least make sure you catch my stuff in the good light."
It was thanging. I'm just gonna leave it at that so we don't get flagged for being too X-rated. But I'm just saying the thing was thanging. Now in politics, George Santos, Miss Santos is everywhere. She's been parodied on Saturday Night Live. Just a mess. Have y'all been following the George Santos situation?
Yes, he was running. He was running in Long Island. which is
Yes,
where I
that's the
used
one.
to live. I used to live in Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
But
video of him in drag, right?
Yeah, he had did drag in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yes, that came out, and apparently he's been lying about everything. You know, he's been lying about where he went to school, who he's worked with. He said his mom died at 9/11. At 9/11.
li-
Uh,
about being Jewish
about being
and and his and his ancestors being taken in concentration camps, even though somehow
Oh
he's
Lord.
Brazilian and Catholic. He's been
like,
lying so much his lies don't even make sense with each other anymore. But the thing about it that's the phenomenon behind it is why he won. And the theory is that, he lied in ways that appealed to both parties.
mm,
He lied in ways that appealed to the Republicans because he just, he appealed to the white supremacists and that sector. But he also, played the victim card. Oh, I'm a 9/11 person. I'm a COVID survivor and all this stuff. And that's something Democrats like. They love a good victim story. So he managed to lie in ways and sell some bullshit that appealed to everybody. And that's why they let him slide.
mm.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I do vote, but I don't have time for either party. But yeah,
Well, the crazy thing is, I was wondering if he could be unseated. So I did a little research because I was like, well, why did they? Because they found out about his lies before he even took office, right? So I was like, well, can they do something to stop him? And apparently, they couldn't stop him from if he got voted in. But but Congress does have the ability to basically essentially remove him. To
well, I think it's more like they can silence him. I think that's what it is. I think.
Oh yeah, they can silence him too. But there is something in
Yeah.
here about there's some
Yeah,
article with so many votes, a person can be removed.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, I was
And
reading
if not, they'll
something.
just put him in some bullshit committee.
Yeah, but right now,
You're in charge of sheetrock.
right now, I mean, I think I heard that he's in charge of. He's like on some military committee or something or another. I'm like,
Because he was in the military. He was in the Navy, the Army, Marines, all of them.
all of them, honey, all of them,
We still
right?
Hell, he served in World War I and World War II.
okay.
Oh, Miss George, if that's your name, okay.
Miss
Well,
George.
well,
Jorge.
all right, Jorge. We shall see what's going to happen with that. Now, big news. In a kind of weird Truth or Dare YouTube video, Madonna announced that she's going on tour, her celebration tour.
Girl, sit down.
What?
Sit down, please.
That is not the reaction I thought you were going to have about Madonna going on her celebration tour.
Sit down, please. You have did your time.
Oh.
We loved you while you were at your prime. We loved all your videos. You stole the girls' Vogue dance talents and you toured all over the place and made a lot of money. Girl, sit down. We are tired of you. Stop.
She's still making money. And
She's
she has
still
that
making
fan
money.
base.
Like, just sit down and
So-
just sit down and chill out.
So one of my friends here, he's a huge Beyonce fan, and his husband is a huge Madonna fan. So anytime either of them go on tour, they both go together. But he says the last time they went to the Madonna tour, they paid, top dollar for the tickets to be front row and all of that. And it's who you get to rub elbows with when you're in that front row seat, because they got to watch Madonna with, oh God, what's his name? It just slipped my mind. Billy Porter. And a few other celebrities. But it's like, you're not just watching. When you get to be up there with the celebrities that love Madonna or whatever celebrity you like as much as you do, that just adds to the experience.
Don't get me wrong, I love Madonna. I love her. I love to watch her perform, everything. But like, she's at the point now she can't even really keep up with a step at all.
I don't know. Her Super Bowl performance said otherwise. She was dropping it like it's hot. And that wasn't that long ago.
Yes, it was. That was like what? That was like
it'll be like 20 years ago. No, it was like 4 years ago. She hasn't aged that much in 4 years.
No, that wasn't no 4 years ago. Let me Google that.
Yeah, go ahead, Google. Get on your Google schmoogle.
Hold on. Let me Google because I know that was not. Let me see.
I mean, on her Instagram page, she be moving
Yeah,
in the
you know I got
groove.
all these screens up here. Oh, it was 2012. Okay, so 10 years ago. She hasn't aged.
Like it's about 4 years ago. 4 and 10 are the big difference. Just imagine how old you would be in 10 years.
But listen, Janet Jackson, how old? What's the age difference between Janet and Madonna? How old is Madonna? How old is Janet?
Madonna, 1958. Let's see.
She's gonna be almost 7.
64.
Yeah.
Because Janet is 56, right? She's 56. Yeah.
Why was I thinking she was only 53?
She's 56, and she's still popping and locking. I think if you've been taking care of yourself, and listen, she don't have to do all the dance. She got all the dancers behind her. She can just walk across stage, do hand stuff. She ain't got to do nothing with her knees. To me, if the people want it, if the kids want to come see her,
and she's gonna make some money.
Girls, she always
see her.
She overcharges.
That's where celebrities make their most money if they're not writing their own music. Is the tour?
I just don't want her going. So I just want to go do a Las Vegas show, like a Las Vegas review,
little residency.
Yeah, just stay there.
Palace.
Let us come see you.
But the old girls who can't come see her, who can't afford to fly to Vegas, get luck. They shit out of luck, right? If you can't afford to go to Vegas and see her.
These
Let's be honest. If you can't afford to go see Madonna in Vegas, you can't afford the tour.
Right.
That's not true.
That is.
So there's going to be seats for sale on Groupon for Madonna.
Because it could be like, all you got is $400, right? And that Madonna ticket that you want is going to be $350. And so that's your gas.
All you got is $400. You spent your last $400 ticket that you definitely need to sit home, and that is all you have.
But you got Klarna now. They could break it up in 4 payments.
Don't hate on that. I've done it before.
I have too.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So the penny pitching girls need to be able to go to the concert as well. And the year is killing us already. We got Janet. We got Madonna. Beyonce supposedly is going to be touring too.
If you got $24 million to spend for an hour of her time.
Right? So now she got plenty of money to make her tour.
And then she slowed down a little bit. Did you see this last performance she did at the opening of Atlantis?
I saw some clips from that.
She slowed down a little bit.
Disclaimer from the Beehive: the opinions of these speakers do not represent about Beyonce. Do not.
Look,
represent
I love
that
Beyonce. Hold up, I am a Beehive too. Okay, but I saw her. So, girl, slow down a little bit. But then they said she had foot surgery.
She ain't dropping it like it's hot anymore. She's right down like it's warm.
No, or is that a rumor spread by the Beehive to?
Look, all I know is this: when she was doing the she did it about a good 2 times,
and she was done.
Did it like this. Bam! Yeah, you're tired. I know you're tired.
I'm sure it's her feet because she's a consummate. I have no problem hating on Beyonce, but I'm not gonna do it today. I feel like surgery is surgery, right? So. Yeah. She was good.
Go with that now.
Yeah, we can go for that now. Now,
if she's doing the same thing,
you're right. I mean, we already looking at her with the side eye because Miss Beyonce. Where are the visuals? Where are the visuals? I mean, even the Soulful Cream Podcast is finally giving visuals. If we can give visuals, you can give visuals. Where are the visuals?
So Beyonce, if you're hearing this and you'd like to join the show and tell us why you haven't shared visuals,
please,
you're more than welcome to join us. I'm sorry we can't foot that $24 million an hour bill that you might
require. Charity.
It's charity.
Yeah. This is
for Junior Boy, who is the chapter president of the Beehive of the South.
Come upgrade the Soulful Cream Podcast, girl. Upgrade us.
Yeah, I'll get y'all front row seats. We can get backstage and tell her, hey,
Look, we can StreamYard you in. You can do it from your plush home, honey, with little Sir and Roomy running around, honey. Just you ain't got to get a sitter, girl. Just sit there with the twins on your lap and give us 10 minutes.
Yeah, she's like, I know she the last, I think, what was it? Somebody, it was an interview she did with somebody. I was on it's like on her website, and she was saying that the reason why she has not released the visuals is because she wanted everybody to enjoy the music, That's what she said. She wants people to enjoy just the music for now. Now, do you want to know my opinion?
What? Tell me your opinion. 'Cause I
I
got my opinion.
think, I think that some of the videos that she didn't like, and she's Virgos are perfectionists.
There was some reshoots.
Yeah, there was some reshoots, and she didn't like it. And I think she might either scratch the whole thing or she might do some reshoots later.
Yes, somebody didn't sign off on the right paperwork.
Yeah,
They skipped that one dancer who didn't sign, and they went back. Mario, did you sign this? Mario said, "Can I get a raise?
yeah.
Can I get some more money?"
Or as we like to call that, the Nikki Gilbert.
Yes,
R&B Divas Atlanta
yes.
held
Can
the
I get
whole
a little
project
more?
up by not signing the waiver for Selena Johnson.
He did not.
Yeah, I had a friend. I had a friend. She danced when she came out with that album. She surprised everybody with.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember he said that when she danced for her, they didn't even hear the music. They had to count.
Get out.
Yes, the only person who could hear it was her.
What?
And I was like, all they was like, well, "Where's me?" They said, "Well, no." And all they saw her. They was like, "Oh, okay." And it was like 1, 2, and 3, 4.
In a music video?
Yes, they didn't hear the music at all. She was the only one who could hear it, and the director. That was it.
And they up there dancing hard and
Like
to nothing. That counts.
That's it.
That's boss. That is so boss.
Yeah.
I would have expected that from Michael Jackson. But
Even the people who danced,
that's another Virgo.
Even in that video, what's the video she was skating?
Oh yeah, the in the middle.
Yeah,
that one.
The extras, she filmed that in Houston, and then she had the extras, right? They said the whole time they said they didn't even hear the music either. They skated for 3 hours.
Skating for 3, just skating.
Just skate, and they had to laugh. They say loud,
John, blow.
Right? Yeah, blow. Yeah, look at Beyonce. Say hi.
That's
over off of Highway 6 in Bissonnette.
Baby, they said because one girl was like, she's like, girl, she made us skate for 3 hours straight.
They would have skated for 3 hours anyway.
Right.
What are you complaining about?
Yes, he's skating aficionado. Yes.
Well, no, you might have sat down for like a hot dog or something. Not about 20, 30 minutes.
They got paid, right?
Yeah. The extras
they got to be in the video.
Yeah, extras don't get paid.
Extras don't get paid in the music video?
But they get to be in the video.
Yeah, they get paid.
Some of the people I skate with on Thursdays were in that video.
Yeah.
I know the extras get you get like a day rate when you're an extra like on a film. So I thought like you may get like $100 a day depending on the size of the film.
It sounds very early RuPaul's Drag Race. Do it for the exposure. We're not going to pay you, but the exposure.
Right.
I think they had to come with their own clothes and like they had to dress like kind of. They gave her like a little. She had a dress.
But she did have a rumor back in the day of skipping on paying folks. She was a little Tyler Perry.
That was Matthew Knowles.
Back in the day.
Yeah, that was Matthew Knowles. I heard that from Beyonce.
You know how you do when you fire somebody, you just throw them under the bus for all the other stuff that went wrong, whether it was their fault or not.
Right, I mean, that's the rumor. I'm not saying that that's facts.
Allegedly. People are saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Since she's fired her dad, things have been a little different. So
yes. So basically no one's gonna go see Madonna here. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm not.
I haven't made immediate plans, but let's see what these lotto numbers say.
Okay, lotto numbers. Who are you playing? I done downloaded the app, honey. Every day I just play $1-2 on whatever I've lost on. So like if it's Powerball time, I play it. So like I guess that means once or twice a week. I'm playing. So I'm playing Powerball, Mega Million, and Texas Lotto is what I'm playing.
Okay.
Yes, because you can't win if you don't play.
Exactly. No, I play like $10 a week. I buy a Powerball with the Power Play, a Mega Ball with the Mega Plier, a Texas Lotto Extra, and 2 Texas 2-Steps.
Yeah, I mean, all I ask if one of y'all win, girl, just get my debt.
Hey, what's up?
Get my debt. Just let a girl be debt free, girl. That's all I ask.
Look, I'm just gonna tell you right now. I'm not gonna call you. I'm just gonna wire you. I'm gonna text you. Give me your checking account.
Fine,
You'll probably be like, and if you want to sneak a little surgery here and there.
fine, girl.
Yeah,
I don't need. I don't know explanations. I don't care where it came from. But that's not my
yeah. So I might
problem,
just put it in your under your seat in your car, your truck,
right?
seat.
Right.
In a duffel.
Yeah.
But yes, girl. That's hey. I'll take
This
it
is
how
in my
it
Planet
is.
Fitness duffel. Wait a minute.
But hey, have y'all watched? Seen the girl on TikTok, Terry Joe? It's actually a guy dressed as a girl, and she's freaking hilarious. Have y'all seen her?
Mm-mm.
I should have brought up if I was a proper hostess, I would have
Look her
a,
up.
a video ready for y'all. But let's see if we can let's see. Terry
A
Joe.
Christian character with a heavy Southern accent.
Yeah, she is so freaking funny. Let's see if I can find. Let's see here. Can I share my screen with y'all?
Apparently, you can present.
Let's see. Share screen. What is it saying? Deny.
Oh, I've seen it, but I never really heard. That's a real girl.
No,
You want me
no.
to try? You want me to try and share?
Let's see. Am I sharing now? Can you see?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, you try to share. Go ahead. We are learning and growing.
Okay, like okay,
Okay, there we go.
okay, you right. Soulful, come on.
You got some volume on her. Can we hear what Terry Joe is saying?
Oh, you can't hear her?
Mm.
Yeah, she's turned up all the way, but apparently it doesn't.
I guess maybe it's because it's probably coming through your headphones. I bet that's what it is. It's 'cause
She's
it's-
not really saying anything. Anyway, it's alive. She's waiting for everybody to get on.
Okay. All right. So we'll in that moment. Let's see. Bear with us, children. We are soulful. You got that right away. I'm sharing. Did you share screen? Is that what you did?
I went to present, and then I went to share screen.
Yeah, that's what I did. And then
It works well if you have multiple screens. It's easier.
Chrome has lost permissions to capture the screen. To fix it, unlike Jesus, this is all some extra stuff. I got to go to system preferences and child cancel all that. Let me cancel all that. Anyway,
Tell us about Terry Joe.
Terry Joe's really funny. Y'all go check her out. She's on TikTok. It's really a guy in a wig, just being hilarious. And I get so much joy from him. I wanted to share with everyone else, but apparently I can't. If, on our podcast, where you listen to it, I will interject her in there. I will insert this into that. For those of you watching the video, sorry, you got to go to another place. All right, SZA. Child, SZA is breaking streaming records. She done beat Taylor Swift for the most streams of an album in a week or something like that. Like,
She has quite the following.
I am so shockaroonie. Like, I'm really shocked, honestly. Or like, did y'all see this coming? I didn't see this coming.
I don't know the difference between SZA and what's the other girl name? They all sound the same to me.
SZA, Summer Walker.
Her?
Summer Walker, yeah. I couldn't even tell you who's who.
Well, SZA had an EP that came out years ago, which she put into this album, but she's also had a lot of tracks singing with other artists, with Doja Cat and such like that. Then she had her appearance in Saturday Night Live, so she's been very strategic with her marketing.
Yeah,
you're right. This album.
Hopefully, he better know. He better. I feel like who I feel like who we are. What's that? With Claudia Foster and
I know that show you're referring to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Soul Fox Soul.
I know you're talking about.
Soulful is the guy. What's his name?
Al.
Al. He's Al. Al's he gives you good statistics and articulate everything that's going on. You and Claudia, and I bet you just like
Oh yeah. Oh girl. Yeah.
I love this one though.
Now the thing, because SZA did do that All Star song with Kendrick Lamar for Black Panther. Like that was.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm pretty sure I got her music, but
yeah, but you're right though. Like I'm sorry, and maybe it's because I think I did some research on as we get older we lose. It's like we lose the ability to we're more than likely to not like newer sounds that we haven't heard before as we get older, and that's one reason why in your 20s, your late teens, that music really resonates with you because that's your most open time, I guess, for stuff like that. So that music kind of cements itself in your brain. So I'm kind of wondering if that's why, because when I listen to this as an album, I'm like, it so much sounds alike. I mean, it may be nuanced slightly different. I mean, it's not identical, but it's not like the old Janet Jackson stuff where on one album you got Rhythm Nation, which sounds nothing like Escapade, which sounds nothing like Miss You Much, which sounds nothing like Lonely, sounds nothing like Come Back to Me. Like you know what I mean? It's like even take any of the like those kind of divas, and it's like from back in the day, and it's like these girls now they release an album, and it's like you use the same producer, the same instrumentation, and it's like everything sounds the same. And I was just like bored. It's like put me to sleep music. And it really is for me. Like I watch her music videos, hot. She did like her song Kill Bill. You should watch that. It's a really fun. She's of course imitating Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill movie for her song. It's real fun. Like she's a good visual artist and very interesting that way. But the music for me is a snooze. And maybe she's like, well, honey, I'm not making it for people with this on their face.
He does. Y'all passes anyway. Y'all don't know,
Yeah, but go ahead, Soulful.
I was gonna say, what's her name? Beyonce's sister.
Solange.
Didn't she direct a video for her?
I think she did do a video for her. You're right. I think off her last EP, or it wasn't off this
too, because Solange is very visual.
Yes. So, what were you about to say?
Oh no, I think yes, the music and the sounds are very different to what we're accustomed to. But I think the reason she's such a big hit is because she's, aside from the strategy that she's done to get the exposure, it's also what she sings about. It's very, very introspective and very vulnerable about what's going on with her. And I think for anybody, you mentioned earlier about the music in our 20s, and obviously, anybody who knows you knows you're a Janet fan. But I think when we cling to an artist like that, it's like it's like they're a part of the soundtrack of our life. You were listening to Janet Jackson when she was going from Let's Wait a While to Anytime, Anyplace, which is something you could relate to at that age in your life. And, SZA, I've listened to her album, and what I've gotten from it is that people ain't shit. but obviously she's singing about something that people in her generation can relate to. And, I think it's just a matter of passing the torch from one artist to another, that they are not writing the soundtrack of the life for the people in that generation.
Yeah, but
Jasmine Sullivan's in my business a little bit.
Right. I love Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not about
you bust the windows out somebody's car.
Her Hotels album,
that giggle's a little ominous.
Yeah.
Who else is popping, like of the divas, like Ariana Grande?
Yeah, I like her.
She but like even Lady Gaga is like, these people they have their sounds they have different sound. I feel like it's not about the topic that SZA's talking about. It's her sound is so monotonous.
Okay.
To me, and I don't know, but the kids love it. Maybe they're all going to sleep to it and getting high on it. I mean, maybe that's what it is. Everybody's smoking weed. It's weed music. it's like you high. You're like, oh yeah, I hate him. Kill Bill, whatever.
It's very monotone.
Yeah, it is. It's everything ain't for everybody, and that's fine. I'm happy that this woman is winning. I just don't understand why, people aren't like critiquing this monotone music. But maybe
oh, they are.
are they?
They're just not our age.
So now Leslie Jones, speaking of another black diva, Leslie Jones is hosting the Daily Show, or she just finished hosting the Daily Show this past week. I got a chance to watch some of it. Leslie Jones, she did a great job. When she first came on the scene, I was really turned off by her when she first was on Saturday Night Live. All that yelling and screaming she does and all that stuff is a real turn.
That's why I didn't watch it.
But I think it's working for her, right? It's her shtick. I think she has found a little nuance in all that yelling. She doesn't quite yell like she does all the time. Used to do all the time. But I think Leslie Jones was fantastic. Y'all gonna watch a clip of Leslie hosting the Daily Show at all?
Oh yeah. I've seen her in a calming thing, in a more calming, way. Like, I've seen her like in other environments where she's not yelling.
Oh, like what kind of environments have you seen?
Like I've seen her like just in like I'm just saying like interviews, like when she's done interviews or where she she knows how to turn it off. You know what I'm saying? And she knows how to. And it's something else I've seen her in. I feel like she's not one dimension. She has this whole. I like her a lot, but that when she was doing that, I was like, "Girl, you too crook." But I've seen her like other dimensions, even like on Saturday Night Live. She's not always, yelling and carrying on. And I've seen her be on The View where she knew how to speak to people, and she's not, even she's funny. She's still her, but she's not, the
extreme turn up.
Yeah, like Tiffany Haddish sometimes. She kind of.
Tiffany Haddish, where is she? Child, after that controversy, she is. I meant to go to her.
She lost her job. They took her jobs away.
Woo. She got rehired by nobody?
They said after that happened, she ain't got no jobs.
Ooh. We gotta put her as a topic of the future on the podcast to do a little research about her. Tiffany Haddish, gotta remember to.
I like Tiffany Haddish.
Mm-hmm.
I always respect people who came from nothing and who still, and she was making some money and was still living in her grandmother's house, still planting vegetables in her garden, and still she wore that Valentino dress for like 20 times.
Yeah, for about as much money as I can. I'm gonna get as much use out of this dress as I can.
She wore it several ways, and it was like not bothered.
Yes, I think she's a cool person. I mean, then what happened ultimately? That girl dropped the lawsuit. Like ultimately they did not go to court on that at all, and it kind of turned into a whole lot of nothing. Honestly,
but social media is not that forgiving.
No, not at all. Unless you're a white man, it's real forgiving because you saw that thing about that coach who punched the holy shit, or that wrestling coach, somebody who punched the shit out of his wife, and it was on. They recorded it, and nobody was talking about it. Like he apologized. Me and my wife been together since we was in junior high. We get in fights sometimes. Blah 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 blah. But that man's still employed, as far as I know.
It just takes enough people to make enough noise about it, and unfortunately, it's just not getting enough traction.
Yeah, well, I guess people don't want to talk about the white man punching the shit out of his wife. But
it's like what's going to happen if we do complain about it?
Well, if enough people complain about it, they'll go to that company and be like, "Why does this man still have a job? It's your company." And they'll be like, "Do y'all condone this?" And the company's like, "We don't condone it," so he's fired. Like, that's how that stuff works. But if no one says anything, then the company's gonna be like,
Whatever. Sorry, y'all, for sniffing my nose. I don't do coke, y'all. Y'all was like, I said I do cocaine powder. But oh well.
Yeah. Well, let's
that could go into a whole other topic. Probably.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I'm just
Yeah,
being
let that go. So Alec Baldwin. Speaking of white men, this is a great transition. Alec Baldwin and the armorer from the movie or that AD I think she was or on the show on the movie was shot in the chest and she died. This is at sometime last year I think when this happened, if not longer. Well, finally they decided to do an involuntary manslaughter charge against
somebody
Alec
does.
Baldwin and the armorer, the person who was supposed to make sure the gun was safe. So
Oh,
they both have been charged, and so of course Hollywood is kind of going up in arms about this, saying, you know, you cannot expect an actor to make sure that a prop that was supposed to be checked by a professional is more
mhm.
ready to be used than the professional. You know, what do y'all think?
No, I let go. So you gotta go.
Uh, there's so much here. my initial thought my initial thought is like, yeah, you're right. He's thinking it's a prop. It's supposed to be a prop. It wasn't supposed to be armed. The whole thing was an unfortunate accident that should have never happened. And, holding him accountable is just involuntary manslaughter would be the thing to charge him with, definitely not murder because there was no established motive.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I think a lot of people are just going to look at this as like, oh, here's an opportunity to get a white man who's in Hollywood. Let's just stick
Yeah.
our guns to it. But at the end of the day, I do feel that, he was not at fault. He had nothing to do with it. Unfortunately, it is his problem because he did pull the trigger. But yeah, it should have never been like that.
Yeah. Everybody has a job. Everybody has a job. Everybody has a lay. Like the person who was supposed to have checked it should be the one taking accountability. Like I'm not, if I go on a movie, I'm not worried about what clothes I'm supposed to be wearing. That's the wardrobe stylist problem. What I'm supposed to be wearing. I'm just there to make my character come alive. The director is supposed to do this and the the grip man and the prop man, all that, and it works together. And it's just a matter of somebody taking accountability and making sure things go forth in the law.
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be some checks and balances put in place after this, before you do a scene, pull the trigger,
Mhm.
aiming elsewhere to make sure. But yeah,
Yeah, Michael Chiklis, if you remember him from, he was on a couple of big shows. The bald headed guy, yeah, remember Michael Chiklis? I think
sounds familiar.
he was on NYPD Blue maybe back in the day, but he also has a more modern show now. But he said, I read that he feels like from here on out they should ban real guns from sets. Like uh, there should be no reason why the gun that discharges has is real
Is being
or
used on set.
be used set. But
You
my
think
thing
that's
is,
going to get political?
um, but
Using real guns on set?
when you say real guns, I'm sure, this is just me guessing that it wasn't a real gun in the sense that it was a legitimate bullet. It was probably some type of really hard prop that that if it was a hard prop but put in a real gun, right? Like so that fired it at I don't know. It just seems like they would have a real Beretta that could have a real bullet. That thing sounds stupid to me. But that's what Michael Chiklis said. So he knows more about the business than I do. So, but he was just saying they're going to probably ban, I guess, any gun that can really legitimately shoot a projectile out of it, and they may start going to legitimately more green screen stuff, special effects kind of stuff with that kind of thing, or maybe the gun goes off, but it just it just sparks like something came out of it, but nothing actually comes out of it. I don't know, but it's definitely going to change the industry
As it should.
yeah, as it should most definitely.
So
And
what
then
I'm thinking.
our last hot topic before we take a break. That'll be a break on the audio podcast, but not a break on the visual podcast. Before we go to break, Will is a question. Uh, I was reading this news article about is raw law is law question mark has prep basically changed the game. We see all these prep commercials. I take
Now
prep.
ejections as well now.
I'll say what?
Now they're gonna have ejections.
Oh yeah, the injections and there's so much happening for HIV prevention, which is great. Uh, but does that mean? And this is no judgment. It's just a question: is Raw becoming law now that people can protect themselves? We have all this preventative protection. What have y'all perceived out there in them streets?
Or are we going right into it, or are we doing the
Yeah, let's go right
break?
into it. Oh yeah, let's go right.
Oh, okay.
So for you want to go because I'm gonna tell you, I'm not having sex.
Are the streets calling?
But you have
Uh,
friends who are having sex and they're talking. So
Okay.
Yes, they are. They're a good bucket too.
okay. So what is the gut bucket street saying? Okay, Soulful, but you go ahead.
Well, for some people, Raw has been lost since the beginning of time, way before Prep.
Yeah.
Okay, facts.
Yeah, I think more people have been inclined to do those types of practices is better on Prep. You even, and we knew we were going to go that direction when people started putting that on the apps.
Mm.
You have the ones that are negative, positive, undetectable on Prep as an option. So, we've definitely been setting up for that to happen.
Mhm.
I do think a lot of people have become a little bit more confident in raw practices because of Prep, and not entirely because of Prep, just because of medical advances we've made across the board. People that are positive have the can get viral treatment to do viral suppression, and to the point where you can be undetectable and can't infect anybody anymore, or at least not likely. And then you combine that with Prep, it just really creates an environment where people have a lot more confidence in practicing raw sex.
And on the apps that y'all are on, when you were on
that,
them,
that y'all
Yeah, say because that.
because I'm a married woman, so
I'm not, and I'm not on them.
I said when you were, wasn't that long ago, right?
No, it wasn't that long ago.
Okay,
That was
so
the reason why I got off of them.
okay, so when you were, uh, did you see a lot of people indicating that they were whether what's the word I'm looking for, whether explicitly or implicitly indicating that they were open to raw sex in their ads?
Oh, they always said like they'll be in the caption. They'll say raw is law, only raw sex or whatever.
It's a
We
lot of
got
explicit. Okay.
yeah. Just like thing is to me, this is my when I worked in AIDS prevention many years ago. I think a lot of these kids now in this day age are a little uneducated
Oh yeah.
about certain things. Yeah, I mean, we do have things in place and prep and all that, but you still can get other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and those other things can affect your health in some type of way. I mean, and even like when somebody I was out at Bulldogs and I heard somebody would say, "Oh, he's undetectable." As long as he's undetectable, I don't care. They were like kind of joking about it, but yeah, he might be undetectable, but at the time he might sleep with you, he might not. His viral load might shoot up just within that minute. You know what I'm saying? He might pass something to you, and so I'm not saying that I have had raw sex, but that was with someone who I was with. I just didn't have it with random. Well, I didn't have randoms. I didn't have it like with random people. That wasn't like my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I am in a certain age, I definitely don't just don't jump on anybody.
Well, they say that a lot of the highest infections of HIV come from people in committed relationships because some person's committed and somebody's not. And when you
Somebody's honest and somebody's not.
yeah, and
I'm not gonna go into that because I could go into a whole other situation with the space I am in right now. I'm not gonna go there because
but
I
what
just being cheap.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So that's why I think prep. If you're a negative person, prep should just be a given. I heard people say, "Well, I'm not being sexually active. I don't need to take prep." I'm like, you never know when you may meet someone.
It only takes one time.
It only takes one time. You never know, you may meet someone in this. You're in the heat of the
Mhm.
moment, and and then and boom, and there you go.
I take it just because it's part of my vitamins.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? It's like just
Yeah.
why not do it?
So
It
I have
just
a couple of things to add to that. One, I agree with what you say. Most of the people that I know that were courageous enough to reveal that were HIV positive to me were people that were infected because they thought they were in monogamous relationships, and the
Mhm,
partner was actually out there not being monogamous and then brought something home and ended up infecting them. So, in hearing that, it's, opened a conversation with me and friends of mine. And most of my friends, along with I, have gotten on PrEP since then. I was one of the skeptics of getting on PrEP. For a lot of reasons at first. One, because it was so early with the drug. There's just so much that with any new drug that hasn't had sufficient time to test, there's always concerns about what kind of long-term effects it can have on you. But then I was also thinking about it from a pharmaceutical um, profit perspective. He's like, okay, we're already going to, as a pharmaceutical company, we're already going to make a lot of money providing this medicine for people that are HIV positive that are going to be on it for the rest of their lives. So that's, a cash cow. How can we make
mhm,
more money? Let's get the people that are negative to start taking it too.
Mhm.
So I was kind of skeptic at first from that, but I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of people that are part of the AIDS Houston Foundation that have opened up and educated me more and more about that. And as I've undergone a lot of changes in my own life, I just became the smart decision to get on PrEP. I've been on it for about 4 years now. I have not had any issues with the medication, and I take other medications too for other health issues.
mhm,
And the combination of the PrEP medication with my medications have been fine. I've been
mhm,
great with it. It's definitely giving me peace of mind whenever I having my own encounters and there might be a slip up here and there. So
mhm.
my experience with it has been great.
Yeah. And I will say, just as a clarifying thing about people who are undetectable. I mean, scientifically speaking, if you are taking your medication consistently now, I mean, I know you're talking about you were in the industry years ago, but I think now scientifically, if you're taking your medicine consistently, you're not going to have any crazy spike. Now, if you're inconsistent with your stuff,
Right.
then that's the thing. Some you don't know if Joe Blow is consistent with their
That's what I'm saying.
situation, right? And so that's why I think being on PrEP has changed the game in the sense that now you don't necessarily, as far as it relates to HIV, you don't have to worry about it, right? You don't have to worry about, well, he said he's undetectable. I'm on PrEP. I don't care. Let's go, right? Whatever. If
It
that's
gives
Right.
if that's,
you
if
it
that's
gives you an
attitude,
opportunity to act on your behalf. You're
right?
not just at the mercy of the other person being responsible and taking their medication. You have an option to protect yourself as well.
Totally, totally. And that's the sense I've gotten from my friends. I think I have a few friends who have shame around the fact that they like to bareback. And so I'll be like, they'll tell me they had sex with
That's the term they
somebody.
use. Bareback only. I couldn't think of what it was. It was bareback. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I think bareback is kind of like a certain group's term, and then like raw is another group's kind of term they use like
A
there's
certain demographic.
different graphics that embraces different terminology. Um, but
Well,
yeah,
earlier you said about are people just putting it out there from the get-go. I think certain demographics do, especially if they look at it as a kink or a fetish. I
mhm,
think more people that are on PrEP, even if they don't put it out there from the get-go, are likely inclined to practice sex that doesn't involve condoms.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so
I,
too.
I may have done some field research and found that for myself, but yeah, and I'm going to be a little transparent here. As I've gotten older, I find it more and more difficult to stay aroused with a condom on.
That,
So,
yeah.
and I've been finding out just in quiet conversations that other people do
That's
too.
an issue.
So, so having PrEP as an option has been a
hmm
godsend.
That's a common issue for a lot of men over 40.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Watch
people
it
under,
now.
yeah, it's true. It's
It
fact.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked for we literally were just having that conversation, and And one of my friends, he was like, I just, I mean, he's of course he's married, but they were using condoms, and he just said him and his husband just they found it hard, like stay aroused with a condom on. It's like he says like putting weight down there, and it's like
it desensitizes things a little
yeah,
bit. Yeah,
It does.
and you
One of
need
my
this.
friends in Florida opened up about that because he thought there was something wrong with him. He's like,
Mm,
"Oh Lord, I'm becoming impotent." This and that. No, you're on the edge of 40. You're probably your body's going through some changes. You're probably just finding it difficult to maintain an erection with a condom on.
mhm.
And apparently, quiet as it's kept, it's something that happens very common in our community.
Yeah,
So I introduced him to prep and everything, and he realized once he got on prep and took that shield off, it's like, oh, okay, it really was that.
yeah.
Lord, did we open the
yeah,
floodgates with that one when I put him on prep?
yeah.
Well, well, thank y'all for y'all's directness and your honesty on that. Uh,
Yeah,
I
I used to
appreciate that.
very shy about it, and
Mhm.
to be talking about it on a platform like this probably would
Oh,
have
I don't give
scared
a
me.
shit now. I'm about to be 43, and I'm
But
Okay, it is what it is at this
but I
point.
think about what it can do for other people, and maybe even to save a life. Somebody who's out there thinking that there's something wrong with them because they can't stay aroused with condoms, and then they have questions about prep. There's so many options out there to be able to get on prep with or without health insurance. And, if you're having any kind of sex out there where it may or, where you may end up not using a condom, you definitely need to consider getting on prep, especially
yeah,
if you don't have health insurance.
Right.
exactly. Testosterone helps too.
Oh yeah. People do swear by testosterone. I had asked my doctor about testosterone, and then she started giving me all this list of the possible side effects, and like I think maybe there's some heart stuff associated with it, and just I was just like, okay, girl, you're making it sound a lot worse than what I
Yeah,
think it
it
is.
depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
I had me. I got on it, but it's like I don't take a big dose. It's like a very very small dose.
Mhm.
Because all you need is a little bit. That's the problem. I think a lot of guys I know a lot of bodybuilders take it, but they take a lot more of it because they want to. But
Bulk up.
yeah, bulk up. But this is for more of it's a health dosage.
Uh-huh.
Just to help you just to get over that little bit of hump. And I was feeling fine. I felt great. I felt like I was 20. I felt more rigorous and
Mhm.
ready to go.
You ready to go? Okay, all
Yeah.
right, ready.
I'm about to get you a testosterone commercial.
Yeah, okay.
Don't
Hello.
be surprised, y'all, if you hear J Boy doing a commercial for testosterone.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm here for it. Just go run
Hashtag red to go.
Oh.
All right, so we're going to talk about the 12 types of gays you encounter while dating.
Oh God.
So let's start with number one. Number one, this came from, what's the source of this? Thought Catalog is the source, is the website source. Number one is the flake guy. You know, that person you say, let's meet up, let's commit to meeting a date, or they can't commit to meeting a date, or they commit and they don't show up. But I feel like when I go to this
That's half the
list,
community.
that's half the community.
The perpetual flake.
The perpetual flake, the person who they're like, oh, I'm sorry I missed the day, but can you give me another chance?
No.
And then they fucked that one up too.
And they fucked that one up, too. You might know right away, Junior Boy. Now, have you always been that way?
No, let me tell you something. And I might sound a little bitter right now, but let me tell you something. I experienced a whole lot. And as I go into 43, I handle things very differently now.
Uh-huh.
I don't even give a man a chance now. I see one thing off, I'm gone. Like, no, I'm not even gonna play this game. I'm not gonna go down this road with you. I'm not gonna explain myself. No, forget it. I give you one
Dia
time.
did a whole segment on that on one of the stage plays.
Right. If you don't show up, and it better be because you're dead, I have nothing for you. Or it has to be something like it has to be a really legit. Not I was tired. No, because if you weren't tired, you get up.
Right.
Because I've gotten up, and if I wouldn't feel like going, I got up. You get up for things you want to get up for.
Right.
and go meet. But no.
And see, I'm a little more forgiving, but I'm forgiving if you cancel with ample time. My biggest
Mm.
thing is don't waste my time. If we made plans
Yeah.
at 6 p.m. on a Saturday and you hit me up at 11, hey, something came up, blah blah blah. I'm really sorry. Can we reschedule? Guess what? 7 hours is plenty of time for me to come up with something else to do. But if you wait till 5:59 to tell me you're not gonna make it, you know, I'm gonna be pissed.
And have a follow up plan. Like if you gonna cancel,
Yeah,
let's
that
do
is key too.
tomorrow.
Most people who flake don't have a follow up. They
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Very good point. Very good point. Number 2, hot but dumb. Hot but dumb. Oh, he's fine. And you walk up to him and you start talking to him, and he has zero personality. Okay, boring. Okay, have y'all experienced that?
I'm keeping my mouth closed because I have friends
Who are hot but dumb?
and dumb.
You know, we were talking about that in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in.
Let me just keep that 100, okay? Hello.
So, what were you saying?
Oh, no, I was saying, we were talking about that in a Facebook group as well, because we do have the ones that lack substance and personality. I have a theory, though. I think some of them just deny you access to the substance and personality.
No.
They just dumb.
No, they're dumb. They
I mean, hey, you can't have it all. I mean, some people do have it all, but but sometimes you can't have it all. But I appreciate though is that maybe a part of them recognize that Brainiac was not their strength, so they figured out another strength, right?
Their assets.
Well, let me tell you, I did meet one guy, and he actually he runs the circuit party thing, whatever. And I was doing he hired me to shoot some of his promo stuff, right? And so he's hot. I mean body, good looking. And so I was talking to him, and he, this in me talking to him, it wasn't just it wasn't like a dumb like airhead, right? And so I just kind of asked him, I said, what do you do for a living outside of this? Do you have a job? He said, yeah, I work in IT. I was like, oh, really? He said, you know what? He said, you are the first person who asked me, do I have a career?
Wow.
And he had several degrees. He had a master's. He had a bachelor's. He had a master's. And he had like all these certifications. And I was like,
because when you're sexy, a lot of people don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care.
And he said, people don't care. He said, you are the brother. He said, you are the first person who asked me what my career was.
Now,
see, I'm careful with asking that question because I don't want them to think that I'm gold digging or trying to vet them. Like, oh, he got money.
I think none of my business,
I think it's a fair question. It's just, I mean, in the U.S., it's a part of our general conversation, right? Especially when you don't know anyone from zero, you're trying to find a base at which to connect with them, or what do we have in common? So to me, what do you do is a very okay question. Although people who are not from America do tend to get annoyed by that. They find it a very American.
Our jobs take 40 hours of our week. It doesn't hurt to know what is it about it that makes you stay if you're not passionate about it. Or if you are passionate about it, why? Yeah. I think it's a valid question. But if you're asking what you do for a living to find out if they're making six figures and how they're going to spoil you. Yeah.
Right. Number 3, zero attraction, but you're bored and a little bit desperate, maybe even. So you date that guy. This kind of goes out a little bit to what you messaged me about, Junior Boy, that TikTok video.
God, yes.
You want to describe that?
I was so disgusted. So I'm not gonna say his name. I'm pretty sure everybody saw it.
Everybody saw it. Say a name.
It was a guy named Malik.
Yeah,
he's known on social media, and he took out this guy. The guy he said he met this guy he didn't even know, and the guy was like, he wasn't ugly. He probably was.
Boy.
Yeah, he's a cute
smile.
Yeah, he was cute to me. I would have please. Had he took me, I probably would have gave him something that night. But he went on this date, and I think the boy recorded it and he like took it and did a voiceover. I'm thinking that's what he did.
That's what it felt like. The boy was being his videographer that night.
Yeah, he was like, he was kind of probably showing off the day what they were doing, and he took it.
Went to City Winery, went and played putt
Yeah,
putt.
did some painting when they came back. I think that was the perfect day. And he's like, I don't even know who this boy was. I mean, I didn't know if I'm getting paid. Just like
He's not really my type, I think he said.
Yeah. Then we went back home. When he said last thing he said, then we went back home, we painted, and then he showed the painting. It was such beautiful because it was dolphins that formed a heart.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, and he said, yeah, we painted it, but I didn't like he was my type. I went home. I was like, bitch.
And he got kind of lambasted on social media, right? And
they roasted him.
Mostly because of, wasting the guy's time, but also because he went through all these intimate details of videotaping and sharing just to do this. It's like, it was kind of invasive.
Yeah, I told some of my friends that I always tell them because I have, because I've been on the end. I said the best thing something a guy did to me when he was not attracted to me was cut me completely off, and I thought that was the best. Well, I thought I was so like. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. But it was the best thing for me because he didn't leave me on.
Yes.
My time.
Yes.
I think later back when he came back around, we was like, we were cool. And I was like, I didn't think nothing of it. He told me, I was like, didn't want to waste your time with nothing. Like, why would I take you on a date or keep pushing this forward when I'm not attracted to you?
Right.
And I tell my friends that they're like, oh well, I don't want to be mean. No, you are trying to get a free meal, bitch.
Right.
Just say that. You're still gonna be tired.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm all for that, like you. I'm all for that. Very Maxine Waters, reclaiming my time. If we had a great time, but you're just not into me, I appreciate you not wanting to waste my time.
Yeah,
don't necessarily appreciate being ghosted, but
I definitely don't want to be that.
Yeah,
unfortunately, that's the only way most people can express how they feel about you, by not expressing it at all and avoiding you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a characteristic of a man.
Say that again?
I think that's a characteristic of a man, though, just ghosting.
Yeah, I think that's. But women talk about doing that too, ghosting people that they don't like. I think it's very, it's real. I mean, but ghosting has happened since the beginning of time. Think about the first episode of Sex and the City, when Carrie is voiceovering the young British woman who comes to New York, and she meets the business tycoon, and he's taking her on great dinners. They're having great sex. He even goes. They start looking at apartments together. And
the movie.
No, this is the TV series.
Okay.
Because this is how it starts. The TV series starts, and because Carrie is like narrating what's happening with this other woman, and because she's talking about men in New York or whatever, and dating in New York, and the man says to the woman, "Hey, I want to introduce you to my parents," and the woman's like, "Oh, that sounds great." And then the next day, she's calling him, and John, I'm sorry. Well, John calls her, "I got to cancel. It's not going to work out to go see my parents." Fine, we'll go again. We'll see him some other time. A week later, no call back from John. "Hey, John, it's been a week. How you doing?" 2 weeks later, John still hasn't responded to the call. 3 weeks later, she's cussing John out on the phone. You motherfucker, how dare you? And now then 4 weeks later, she's talking to her friends at the restaurant. "I can't believe he ghosted me." And that's back in the early 90s when that episode happened. People have been doing that stuff, but forever. It's just so much easier to walk away from people and go, they'll get it. They'll get it, that it is to
Isn't that what Miranda said? He's just not that into you.
Yeah, right.
It was the bitter pill to swallow. He's just not that into you.
Right.
And the girls were like, that bitch.
Now, the fourth guy is the guy that we've all dated, and maybe we've even been. The guy in the closet, right? The guy who only wants to see you in the dead of night, the booty call, in the shadows.
Or the one that gets you in the bedroom and then starts praying for forgiveness after what they've done.
Oh my God, no, really?
Yeah.
2004. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Goodness. No, you gotta expound on that one.
No, it's literally what it was. Things got hot and heavy. We got to the bedroom. Someone released, and next thing you know, they're on their knees by the bed asking for forgiveness.
Oh wow. Well, Jimmy boy, have you ever dated someone in the closet?
Oh yeah, plenty of times.
What was the attraction to the dating people in the closet?
It wasn't. I'd left it alone because, but I think the first time I did it, no, the first time I did it was when I was in college. I was thinking, okay, maybe he has a hard time coming out. And I was so stupid. I was like, he made me go to church with him, and we would go pray for forgiveness together. And he was so scared of his parents, and they would be finding out, and we're not supposed to do this. We have to get married and procreate and all that old crap. And I was like, okay. Then finally I got smart, left him alone. Then it happened again, but this time I was like, oh hell to the no,
Mm-hmm.
because by that time I already came out. I was comfortable with myself. And I said, sir, he's like, I'm just not out and I'm not comfortable, this is something new. I said, well, baby, you can go on your own time. It's something new. And you can figure this out because I'm not to be part of your journey.
What about you, Cream? Any in the closet stories back in the day? You ain't gonna be interviewing just us for this segment. You ain't gonna be out with the entire time.
Okay, just because you're married does not mean
I don't mind sharing, but I think for me, I dated someone in the closet when I too was in the closet, which was like in high school. So it was kind of just
compatible.
It was convenient, huh?
You dated somebody in high school? A man?
Yeah, it was. I mean, he was a grown ass man. It was probably technically it was an inappropriate relationship.
Oh, okay, you was a hot mess.
Yeah, it was a situation.
Well, the way they be pulling these celebrities from stuff that happened 70 years, back in the 70s, you could drag his ass too.
Right? But he pulled. I was Aaliyah. He was R. Kelly minus the golden showers. It was kind of like one of those situations. But we were both, in the
age ain't nothing but a number.
But since then, when I came out of the closet, I really busted down. Like I really bust the door down when I was a freshman in college, and I refused to date anyone who would put me back in the closet. I was in a long-term relationship with someone who wasn't out to their family, and I was like, "That's cool," but their family lived like way on the other side of the country. So we lived our life out, and everything. But you know what? I never met his family though. And so there came a point in our relationship where I was like, this relationship doesn't work for me because technically I am kind of in the closet. I'm in the closet to that side of your family. Your family don't know nothing about you. You get hurt. I'm in the hospital with you, holding your hand, crying, and your family like, who is this stranger? With my son. Like, girl, no, we can't have this. So that was one of the reasons why that situation, couldn't last. But people, I really don't have patience for coming out stories anymore. I think that's just my old ageness. I'm like, girl, y'all have all the benefits now.
We have busted that door down. Y'all got
all the resources, girl.
You bisexual, lambsexual,
right? I mean, yes, is it going to be it might be a challenge with your family, but girl, like, I don't know, deal with it and call me when you're done. Because girl, yeah. I just don't have the patience for I don't know. I'm struggling with coming out. Like, maybe that's the old man me. Like, I don't have the patience with it.
Nice. I won't.
I acknowledge it. I'm like, girl, call me when you're out. Yeah. Call me when you're done. I mean, or you want some help to get out? I'll help you. But to listen to somebody struggle and like, oh, I just don't have time. Like, did y'all watch Real Friends of WeHo that just premiered on MTV? You should check it out. It came on after RuPaul's Drag Race just this past Friday, and there's a black guy on there. I don't know. I think his name is Philip. I could be wrong. I think he played Dr. Dre in that movie that had Dr. Dre in it, about Dr. Dre, and he's playing opposite the guy who owns the butter company, that Dorian guy who owns the company. He's in it. Brad Goreski, I think, is one of the producers on it. And so anyway, the Philip guy was talking about how he came out to his family right before doing the show because he knew he was going to be out on the show and he didn't know how his family was going to take him. And I was sitting there watching it going, oh, girl, I'm exhausted. Like, girl, you're a grown-ass woman with your own money in your own house. Why is you going through it like this about your mom and them maybe not co-signing
Like,
on your life, girl. Like,
mm-hmm.
I just, I get it when you're a teenager, but this Negro is 25 plus, and easily. But and I recognize people you may listen to this and go, Cream, you're being incredibly insensitive, and people are different paths on their journey. I get it, and I'm on my path way down the road, saying, "Girl, call me when you get down here. Call me."
I remember being at 28, listening to a man at church got up the pulpit and confessed how he was struggling with his sexuality, and everybody was, praying and and all that stuff. I was in there rolling my eyes like, girl, just come on over to the light, Caroline.
Yes.
Because you're going to be dealing with this, and this is not going to work for you. I've seen this story several times.
Yeah. I don't even think of it as a being insensitive. I just think it's compatibility. I'm in a place where I'm very comfortable with my sexuality, and you may not be where I'm at, and that's okay. But I'm just not going to be the best person equipped to help you get there.
Well said. Well said.
He's politically correct. I'm not. I'm gonna have to come to Soulful. So how do I say this to the
right? We need to have a retreat on the proper way to respond to people. Okay, number 5, one and done. You think everything
that is the story of my life.
You think everything went really well on the date. You had great conversation. He laughed. He said, "I would love to see you again." And you say, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see you again." He says, "Me too." And then nothing. Just one and he was done.
Story of my life.
Junior boy, you got your hands in the air. What's going on?
Look, I am the expert of the one and done.
Uh-oh.
It's been done to me.
Okay.
Let me tell you how many times that has happened to me. I can't even count. I've read out of fingers and toes. Okay, because it's like, and now it's like that's why I don't even like when I meet a guy and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna meet each other again." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah," because whatever you tomorrow, this is gonna kind of dictate what you're gonna do for the remaining time. Because if I don't hear from you tomorrow, or I'll call you and text you. Or just I'll throw a couple of balls out there if you catch. If you be missing them and you got a couple of strikes and balls, yeah, I'm good. Just call me Brandy. Almost doesn't count.
Okay.
For me, it's like if the exit interview after the first date is short, then I realize they can go anywhere. But for me, it's the fact that they lay it on so thick at the end. It's like, I really enjoyed getting to know you, this and that. The most recent one that happened to me actually asked me, "What kind of music do you listen to? Oh, who's this artist? Send me a link. I want you." In fact, I'm going to send you a playlist of what I like to listen to. "Oh, what's that podcast you're doing? Send me the link. I want to check out your podcast." And sent me the last text message. "You're a really interesting person. Wow, this is a phenomenal date." Ghosted.
What the fuck?
Ghosted. And it's funny because I just tell myself, I got to a point where it's like, they probably got back together with their ex.
Right? Yes.
That's the nicest thing I can say, other than they jumped off a bridge.
Yeah.
When that happens, I oftentimes think, especially if sex resulted in the one and done, like it was one time you met, you had a good time, you had sex, and then you never hear from them again, is because really that's all they really wanted to begin with, and they were leaning into, because I think some people don't want to fuck hoes, right? You want to fuck a person who you don't think is getting around a lot, so you will tell the relationship oriented guy the stuff that he wants to hear, so you can get him in bed, right? And because you can call a hoe and a hoe be ready, but you want the relationship oriented guy because you figure he not out in the streets as much, and so that's what I think.
Well, maybe they want to be able to call on the relationship one to make them a hoe for one night, just so that they could say that they had them and then moved on.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, they're the hoe.
That's a matrix stuff, right?
Yeah, that is a phenomenon that has been happening to me for the last 20 years, and I cannot explain it.
I think what Patty Stanger, the matchmaker, she would say, your picker is off. You're picking the wrong guy. uh, are you that's a whole nother deep conversation about why we choose the men we choose and if there's patterns for how we choose and stuff like that. I think that's really
Mhm.
really interesting.
It's
Uh,
kind of hard when every single piece of meat in the meat market has been labeled with the manager special sticker.
ooh, my goodness.
I like that one. I'm gonna use that one.
Ooh, it's all the manager special.
Yeah.
Trying to get it out of here before it goes bad.
That's cool.
Okay,
That was how it was at MLK weekend in Atlanta.
that's how it was. Okay.
Mhm.
Number 6, the obsessive guy, the obsession for love. This guy's a guy after a couple of dates, and he's already went on shopping for matching wedding bands, and he's talking about your honeymoon destination, and they probably have been starved for love, but they just jump in it so super fast. What do you say about that guy?
I've had a few
Oh,
of those like
I used to
that too.
fall for it every time.
You fall for it every.
Fell for it a couple of times. I did. I thought I had found the love of my life. We were out looking for real. I was like, oh, we gonna get married. And I found him. Love at first sight. That lasted a good 2 days.
So
So
I don't catch feelings very easily, so I'm not that person. But I have run into that person on many occasions. And
Right.
one time I even humored him because one
Mhm.
of them, it's like, wow, you're really one of a kind. I could really see myself being with you. We just need to stop playing. And it's like, okay, I will get with you right now if you can answer 3 questions.
oh shit.
I was like, what is when's my birthday? Didn't know. Okay, let's make it easier. What's my sign? And you have a 1 in 12 chance of getting that right. Wrong. Okay, last one. What is my real first name? Couldn't get that, and that's why we can't be together right now. Because you're not trying. You're just trying to fill a void of
Yeah.
You don't care who it is. You just want to fill a void and say you're in a relationship.
I think that those questions are not fair. I think that you have to give him other questions. You got to say, "Tell me 3 things that you do know about me." I say start there.
No, they are very fair.
No, they're not fair
No,
because
they are very fair.
I'll tell you right now. I've been friends with both of y'all for years, and I don't remember y'all's fucking birthdays. Okay, I have to look at my calendar to tell me. Oh, reminder, the birthday's coming
You
up.
know about around. I don't remember your birthday, but I know around the time it is.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
That's
He said
valid.
he said he asked for the birthday. I said that's too specific. You
Yeah,
know,
but you know
and,
my sign. I know
How
your
about this?
sign.
But let me ask you a question. But
okay,
hold on. Wait a minute. You might not know our birthdays, right?
yes,
But I bet you know your husband's birthday.
and it took a couple of tries to get it right. Like I have to get it.
But
It took a couple of
but
tries.
if someone was to ask you right now,
Yes,
when is so and so and so and so birthday, you gonna spit it out like
I would know. I would know. It
you
was
would
actually
know.
yesterday.
If you asked him what's his full name, could you spit that out right now?
I could because I
With the
think
proper
Exactly.
spelling.
And what was the other question? What was the last question, Sobo? What was it? What was the last? Oh, what's his
Oh, the
sign?
sign. Which
no, I don't know. I don't know. I don't because I don't
You
get
can
down.
Google that.
Huh?
You can Google that.
Well, yeah, but if he put me on the spot right now, say, okay, tell me what's
Two
my
out of
sign?
3 is better than none.
Then I'd be like, I don't know. Like I just think he could have given him other things to guess because not everyone values the same things. This person
No.
or holds the same things. Like
I'm with
the name.
Soulful.
Now the name, that's a problem.
well, the reason I go there is because I've been in a relationship with someone who after 3 years still couldn't spell my name.
Problematic. Yeah,
Of course, that was 15 years ago, but still.
yeah, that's problematic. You know, uh, I think obsessive is horrible when it's one sided. When it's when someone's obsessed with you, you're like, oh my god, calm down, girl. It's not that serious. Slow down. Whatever, whatever. But when it's mutual, it really feels like you're caught up in a kind of ecstasy. It's only bad when
One person.
one person though,
Yeah.
even when you're both caught up, if one person is faking it or once they shoot their load is gone and they no longer feel that, you know what I mean? So 'cause some people are like that very Eddie Murphy in Boomerang, right? Sees the girl, she's
I got her. Now I'm
fantastic.
over it.
Yeah, once you have it, it's over. You're over. And so I think a little bit of that sometimes falls into the love bombing category. People who do that, the obsessive stuff, it does fall into that category a little bit. But that's another episode that you can go back down to one of our episodes
Yeah, you go
on
back
love bombing
in the archives.
in the archives. Okay, I think that was in season one, perhaps. Number 7 is the way older guy. And by way older, we're saying you're 35, he's 60. So we're talking about a good 20, 25 year age gap
Yeah,
or older. Uh, is that a problem? Is
quarter of
that
a
a,
century.
I mean, no judgment. What do y'all think about that?
Nah, I can't get nobody close to my parents' age.
That was me in my early 20s. I was in my early 20s talking to people in their mid 40s, so that would be the 25-year gap. Definitely in two
Yeah.
different places, so socioeconomically.
Hmm.
A lot of people like to judge the younger 20s and say they're immature, but they're not immature. They're just acting their age.
They are exactly. That's why the guy was like. One guy was like, "Oh, he was 20-year-old. He's I'm mature for my age." I said, "I'm pretty sure you are for a 28-year-old. A
Mhm.
Right.
40-year-old, you're not." Because what I'm thinking about is right now is retirement, 4K, a home. You talking about what routine you gonna do tomorrow?
Right. Talking
Right.
about I'm waiting to turn 25 so my car
Yeah,
insurance drops, and you're talking about I
yeah.
need to schedule my
You talking
colonoscopy.
about how you gonna pay for a trip?
Right. I mean, those are facts. I know, but I mean, you,
Mhm.
Soulful. I did date. I kind of preferred older in my 20s. Honestly, I think I preferred it because I liked little extras that came with that. They could afford to take me out to eat. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
We all
And
were like
and
that.
we all like the little treats.
and
You know,
even though they were seasoned, so is their skill set.
so with their skill set,
Yeah.
I learned a lot from them. Yes, in that way, which is why when I became a little older, I didn't mind entertaining a few people who were significantly younger than me. Probably decade, no more than 15. That was kind of my cutoff.
So we went
But
from dating the older guy to being the older
it
guy.
happens. It happens. I was fortunate enough to live so long. It it it,
Yes.
it happened.
Okay. Me and my friend was sitting in the corner. We were at friends, and we were sitting. And some young guys came over there, like, "Hey," they like, "Oh, you know." And we were first. He said, "We're now the older guys who we used to make fun of, who sit in the corner."
Like, why they still at the club? Why
Then
they?
why they sit in the club? No, we are the older guys sitting in the club. We're like, shoot. Now we know why they were sitting there. They were tired. They just want to
Yeah.
sit down and have a drink.
Now, the way younger guy, this is number 8, the way younger guy. So, have you ever dated someone who was way younger than you? We did kind of cover
I was
this.
not dating him. I was having good sex with him.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
he had that energetic 20s
Oh
stuff.
yeah. He
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
You
yeah.
know,
That
this
was
kind
all
of
he was
ties.
good for. Yeah.
This kind of ties into what we said about the way older guy. In my 20s, I was dating older. Now that I am older, I've been known to date folks in their 20s. And some of my friends at the same age would be like, "Oh, why am I getting hit up by all these young ones?" I'm like, it's kind of like returning that favor to the
Mhm.
That's
universe.
what it is now.
I'm being a blessing to the next generation, just like the
Right.
generation before me was a blessing to me.
Pay
And I
it
will
forward.
say, some of these 20 somethings, I don't know where they got their skill set from, but my God,
For real though.
Oh
I'm like,
yes.
how are you?
Woo.
Honestly, I'd be like, did something happen to you when you were a child? Because you should not know this. Like you,
I,
Yeah.
I have asked
The
that
tricks
question.
you got.
A couple of years ago, I had a 24-year-old that gave me the best hit I've ever had. It, I mean, that was a very high threshold.
Mm.
and you was like, honey, how long you been practicing this?
I
Yeah.
didn't
So this
even want
is
to
like
ask.
years of skills right here.
I'm not qualified to be that therapist, and
Right. I don't wanna go
I
in there.
was just there to be the outlet.
Oh my god, speaking of therapists, one of my friends was telling me that he went out on a date with somebody and they were like joking with each other. And at one point he said to the guy, like, "Oh, you don't let me spank you and call you daddy," something like that. And the guy says, "I'm sorry, but you just triggered me. I need to go." He ended the date in the middle of the date because my friend said something about being called daddy. He said he was triggered and he needed to leave the date. I was like, wow. And this guy was like in his early 30s, late 20s, who said this to him.
Yeah, he might need to let people know in advance if he has certain triggers, especially if they're that deep and serious.
I don't know. It was crazy. Just crazy.
But yes, we younger guys, we thank you for the services that you provide,
Now
the civil services.
number 9 is the slut. Um,
Like we're the slut, or because I
the,
did have an era of sluttiness.
You know, we ran into this one.
you know,
We ran into a lot of these this weekend in Atlanta,
she's the
Oh
and I
yeah,
think
girl.
the term we used is "run through."
She's the girl
I won't
who
add the word that was added after that, but I'll add the prefix "run through."
ran through.
on always lurking on when we had Craigslist was popping. She was lurking on Craigslist, lurking on Grinder, lurking on all the apps. She got different accounts on all the apps. She's the girl who don't say no. She's a yes. She's yes. She's yes. Have you ever dated someone like that, but you didn't know, or did you date someone and you knew? You knew that they was for everybody when you was dating them. Went out with someone and that happened, but through their behavior, they had such hoe like behavior. I realized they was for the streets. Like just through our interaction, I was like,
I
oh,
think I remember you telling us about that one because you were like, "What can I do? How can I compete with the streets?"
I can't compete with the
Had
streets,
you a
girl.
little self-conscious.
Yeah, you for the streets, girl. I can't do it. I can't do it. Have you ever? Oh, go ahead. What are you about to say?
I'm sure I may have had an encounter with one or two in my life, but usually when I pursue somebody, I tend to go for I call them hidden gems or best kept secrets, people that I know. You know, when you have friends in this community, there's bound to be some overlap. But I
Sure.
usually try to find the ones that, don't have a very minimal friends, mutual friends on social media and things like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
People that aren't necessarily running in the same circles as, friends of mine and such.
Gotcha.
Doesn't mean that they won't be hoes. It's just at least I know they're not hoeing with people that I already know.
Right. Junior boy, you entertain sluts, Junior boy?
Me and being who I am, I know all the sluts.
You knew all the sluts
You're in
already.
charge of the girls.
I know the girls. My friends would date them, and I just let them go ahead and figure it out later.
Right.
I
So
have a friend. I also have a friend who is the slut. So she is the slut. So yeah. So I'm just kind of like whatever.
but when you knowingly date a slut, I think because I've knowingly dated sluts before, and it's because you think, well, I'm different, and they're gonna see like we have a simpatico, and our connection is gonna
Mhm.
change them, and it does
I
not.
call that I call that the Missy Elliott "Pussy Don't Fail Me Now" effect.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna change it with what I got. You
Right?
ain't.
Like I can make him put his phone down. It was like,
Okay.
no, girl, not so much. Number 10, the asexual. You ever dated somebody who was asexual?
Never.
Never. I've started talking to somebody, they kind of reveal it that I'm like, it's a runaway for me, fast in a hurry. So I've never dated anyone who, like, I've been friends with them, but never dated because I just knew that was going to lead to a dead end, right?
Yeah, I think realistically, sex is a big part of dating, and if someone's serious about having a future with you, that's something that they're going to have to provide. So, I mean, if you're with, and maybe some of the listeners might disagree, but I feel like if you're somebody that I'm just going out with and there's no intentions of sex or some kind of a romantic future involved, then it's basically just the friend zone.
Mm. Well, someone just to play devil's advocate, someone might argue that we can have a romantic future without sex. So, are we saying we need a sexual future as well? Because I can bring you roses, I can give you a massage, I can massage your feet, and kiss on you, and do all kinds of romantic things,
Yeah,
right?
but if you require sex at a certain frequency and they're not willing or able to meet that need, they're going to have to be realistic. You're going to have to, you might end up trying to get those needs met elsewhere.
But
Right.
yeah, totally true. Number 11, Mr. Perfect on Paper. This goes back to something you were talking about, Soulful,
Yes.
aka the resume.
The link,
Definitely.
the LinkedIn gay.
The LinkedIn guy, she is Ivy League, has a great job, can afford all the accoutrement. You can see marriage, a home. This person has the good luggage, the name brand, clothes, designer clothes, and they know how to speak well, and all their friends look good. They look good. They have all these great travel videos on their Instagram and all this stuff. But you're like, why are you single in the first place? And then you find out why. You want to talk about that, Soulful?
Well, I haven't necessarily found out why yet, but I do
Oh,
run into them. All I have is theories, and it's funny because I mentioned that in the group where we were discussing it earlier before. Because the way they worded it, yes, it's perfect on paper, but they don't necessarily have personality. At least that's the way they worded it. I think I think a lot of them do have personality and depth and substance. I just don't think they give you access to it. I think some of them are trying to quantify you and see if you meet their level of expectation and their own socioeconomical status before they even give you access to their personality.
hmm
Otherwise, you're just a waste of time.
hmm
And then for some of them, I think it's just a lack of conversational skills. They just don't know how to engage people, or they don't know how to engage people about stuff that's not going on with work because
right,
they're so
right.
deep into their career.
Mm.
Then some of them, and this is the one that baffles me the most, and it's the people that can't have a conversation with you in person. But the minute that they get home, they'll go on Growler Live or something and they light up for the world.
Mm.
And I could see
Oh
why
yeah.
they would do that because when you're in that type of a platform, it's not give and take like it would be talking to somebody in front of you.
hmm
You're just out there pouring out your soul and people listen to people choose to listen, which leads me to believe that those types of people aren't necessarily looking for companionship. They're looking for an audience.
Right. Yeah. What about you there, Junior boy?
No.
No, what?
No, I've never dated that type of guy.
Uh huh.
That's not.
You never dated someone that you thought was he looked so great on paper that he had the good job. He had you never dated somebody who
No,
looked.
they never presented me with them on paper. I always looked at them, and when I
Mhm.
saw them, they gave me a good interview.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
But when they got hired, they didn't make it past the 90-day probation. So,
Mm. Okay.
but I do have a friend though. I have several friends. I know a friend. He does that. If you was to see him, he has all the credentials and accolades, but he can't keep a man to save his life.
Mm.
And I want to tell him so bad why, because I see his patterns, but
You gotta wait till your ass, right?
you gotta wait till you ask.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 12, the normal guy, aka the nice guy. Number 12 is last on our list. The
Who's
nice,
a nice guy?
the normal guy, the aka the nice guy.
They're the worst.
They're the worst. Why are they the
They're
worst?
the worst
Why is the nice
because they meet someone who maybe not as normal as they are, and they think they have all kinds of things going on or doing extra things that they probably don't. They're not expected to do, or not what they think they're doing. Uh, so my experience is, people know me in Dallas. I date the normal guy, and he thinks I'm fucking everybody I talk to, or
If
or
that's what he thinks, then he ain't normal.
or he's like, he doesn't. Why we have to go to so many things, and why you have to go to this event? Why do you dress like that? And
Mm.
I was like, okay, well, this is me. I don't know what the hell you want. They'd rather go to Walmart and buy a shirt. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I found a cute couple of blouses in Walmart, but I'm talking about like a plaid, like if you gonna go get something from Walmart, get something cute.
Uh-huh.
But
So, what about you? Luck with the nice guys?
I think I am the normal guy, the normal older guy. I think and I'm going to speak on this from the perspective of being the normal guy. I think the issue that I run into is that it's very easy to friend zone the normal guy. And
Mm.
the one thing that I find that happens with me a lot is people open up to me. Especially if I'm dating, they'll open up about a problem, and I guess I tend to be a listener, maybe even offer some suggestions on how to resolve it, which for a lot of people, a lot of broken people that are looking for that outlet, I kind of
Mm.
become their emotional dumping place.
Mm.
And it kind of changes the dynamic of our dating. And even if it didn't, I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that's just going to dump their emotions on me all the time.
Right.
You're going to go get hurt and use everybody else for the good times, but the minute stuff goes wrong with you, I'm the one you want to come to. No.
Yeah, only calling me for the bad shit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, girl. Yeah, call me when you want to celebrate too. I
That's some
think
sex.
I have been all of these people. Uh, I've been the
You're the
nice.
normal guy.
I've been the normal guy. I think I have been the normal.
Okay, yeah, you are.
I think I'm a normal guy. But I have been the slut too. At some point, I'm sure. I mean, probably not compared to some people, but but in my mind,
It's not a competition, Cream.
right,
This is this is pass or fail. This is not a grade. You either were or you weren't.
I'm a normal guy too, but apparently I'm not.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I definitely think I'm kind of similar. Like, I like nice guys, but I like them to have an edge somewhere, right? You got to be something about you that's basically not for everybody. Like, I hate dating someone who's so vanilla and beige that they go with everyone, they fit with everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind that
Yeah.
everyone likes you, but you shouldn't be compatible dating wise with everyone.
Yeah, like what makes me different? What makes me special?
Exactly, because then it makes me also think that you're like Julia Roberts in Runaway Bride, where you're just like adapting to other people to make them like you. Like, remember, she didn't know what kind of eggs she liked in that, because every guy she dated, because when the interviewer asked the different guys she dated, because she had ran away from all these guys, the guys were like, oh yeah, she loves scrambled eggs. She loved her eggs over easy. She loved her eggs this. She loved her eggs this way. And so the interviewer was like, so how do you like your eggs? And she was like, I don't know, because she had just always just said whatever the guy liked to make him like her. And so I don't like people
Oh
who
my
do
God, me too.
right. Yeah, a lot of that
Oh
stuff.
my God, you like
I like that when
Janet
I was
Jackson?
younger.
Me too.
You were like that when you were younger,
I was like that. Now I'm like, no, I don't like that. No,
right? I'm not going to eat that though.
that's gross.
Okay, well that was it. That was those 12 there. Now, hopefully, you guys have had a chance to think about something happy in the news that's going on that has brought you joy that you think is positive. Let's go with you there, Junior Boy. What in the news have you seen that's bringing you some joy now?
No, it's just been so depressing lately.
No, that's why we gotta seek out the
Well,
joy.
okay. Even though I was glad to see, Beyonce on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's probably like, probably people don't care about her that much, but I do. But I was glad to see her on stage. She was like, even though I feel like I grew up with her.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
And so just to see her still, have this longevity career, and now she has a daughter that's 11 who is just almost as tall as she is.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I was like, oh my God, like I'm like freaking out. Like, and I don't know, just see her life like now, just like I see her life now is kind of, she's in her 40s and she has a daughter, she has kids, and now she's performing a little different now.
Mm-hmm.
She used to be kind of a wild house, a little bit, a tame wild house, but it's nevertheless a wild house. But now she's just kind of like performing like a woman, She's sticking out,
Yeah.
taking what's that what's that stuff she was taking to keep her the cayenne pepper and the
Like
tea.
the little weight loss stuff.
Yeah, she did that. She took it to lose weight, which she did Dream Girls.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was talking about in this last magazine article, she was talking about how she really had to control her weight, like certain things she couldn't eat, like she would not eat like fried chicken, she wouldn't eat that much bread, and she really had to watch weight because she had to get into the clothes that the sponsor was giving her. Now she says she's older, she has a little more, she's been in the game a little bit more longer, and she just let her body does what it does, and she's not, make herself suffer from certain things. So I don't know, it was kind of good. See that.
All right. Soulful. What about you?
Uh, well, for one, I'm very excited. Super Bowl is right around the corner, and Rihanna is
Oh
coming back to do the
yeah,
halftime show, so I'm excited about that.
yeah, I am ready for her. Yeah, that's good. That's what
Yes,
I'm saying.
February 12th.
Yeah,
Yes, Janet
Uh,
Jackson Appreciation Day. It's also called that. That's what February 12th.
The
that's
other
good.
thing I'm excited about is that 24-year-old football player from the Buffalo Bills, Damar Hamlin. He's making a good recovery. He's the one that collapsed in the middle of the game against the
Oh
Bengals,
yeah,
going into
mhm.
cardiac arrest. But yeah, he's making a recovery. He's not playing yet, but I'm glad to see that he's making good trends in the right direction because that man literally died in the field.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
crazy. I think for me, the most happy thing that I've been really excited about that's going on in the news is the way that it seems like this is going to go with me on this. From what I've been looking, I just feel like there's a lot of unity in the community right now, as far as just social justice. That people are on it with their cameras. They're on it with calling out stuff and not letting stuff go. Of course, I don't think all the time we're getting what we are supposed to get, but I do feel like uh, the people are not getting away with it, even if they get away with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's probably one of the biggest things for me. And then I saw the cutest picture of this black astronaut with his two dogs. They were showing all the different astronaut pictures, and this guy took a picture of himself with these two dogs he rescued. There was one was licking his face, and the other one was on his lap. And it was just the cutest thing, and that just brought me a lot of joy. But yeah, that is it for the podcast today. I want to thank our special guest, Junior Boy, for joining us.
Yay!
Yes. And Soulful, it's so good to see you in your luxurious
Thank
home,
you in my Caucasian home
your
back here.
Caucasian home, with your grand piano back there.
I
It's like,
know that's so perfect. A fireplace, a grand piano.
and it's like, is that daylight coming through the window there?
Yeah, because it's daylight over here in Lake Jackson at 10 p.m.
Okay. Well, it's good to see y'all. Thank y'all so much. And everyone else, thank you for listening to the podcast. You have been listening to the Soulful Cream Podcast, or watching in this case. I am Cream Diggler
And I am Soulful Mexican.
with our special guests.
Junior boy.
And until next time, bye.
Yeah.
Bye.